Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name is Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome, welcome. Now I was just trying to get the camera right, but there we go, okay. So how is everybody? Happy Easter long weekend. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. Celebrating Easter, some of you are probably away, spending time with family, all those sorts of things. So I hope you're having a great weekend. Now I'm just going to bring up this live feed on my other devices so that I can see all of your comments there. So bear with me while I get this set up. And as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you're here. Now I don't know how many we'll get today because it is a public holiday. And so a lot of people are probably off doing their own thing and might not be cruising here on Facebook today, which is totally fine because this is always available on the replay. And of course I will upload this video to YouTube as well once I finish recording today. All right, so just getting my other devices set up in case anybody does jump on so that I can see comments. There we go. Okay, so all right, got everything set up, all good. Great. So I have got a very special project to share with you today, and I've got it all planned out. Just a couple of last couple of things to tweak, but the majority of the project is designed. And if it looks a little bit different, it's because I actually got new lighting. Finally, I thought, no, I need to do this. I need to get some new lighting. And so I went shopping and bought new lighting. So this is my first, I've done a couple of tests, but this is my first live video to the public with my new lighting. So I'm not sure how the colors are going to look. But hopefully they will be pretty good and crisp. So hopefully they will be great. Alrighty, I have got my mama bear and baby bear brooch on today. And I wore this one specifically because one, I had a white shirt on. This is my new Stampin' Up shirt that we got at On Stage. So this is it here. I showed it a few weeks ago. But mama bear, I wore that specifically today because we're going to be designing a very white based card today, which is unusual for me. There will be a little pop of color, but using a lot of white today, but also I am going to have all my babies home this week. So my daughter from Queensland is coming home, and this will be the last time that I have all my 3 children at home under the same roof before my son gets married later in the year. So yes, so a little bit nostalgic today. Nostalgic, is that the word? I think so. I think that's the right word. Anyway, you get what I mean. So yes, so I'm wearing my mama bear brooch today, and it might get a bit of wear this week. All right, now before we jump in, let me just quickly tell you that I have got my card buffet class coming up. My April card buffet class. I held one in February as well, and the ladies really enjoyed it and they're excited for the next one. So it's going to be on the 20th of April. The registrations are going to close on Saturday. So you've got a few days still to register. I already do have some registrations, so there's only a couple of seats left. So if you are in Sydney and you would like to come to a card class, I'm in Western Sydney. So if you'd like to come out for some fun crafting, we're going to be creating 4 cards as part of the card buffet, but there will be a selection of cards to choose from. I'll have everything here for you to create with them. All you need to bring is your adhesives and your basic tools kit, like your paper snips, you take your pick tool, those kinds of things, and your own adhesives and Stampin' Dimensionals. Or you can purchase adhesives here on the day if you need to as well. We'll have light refreshments for afternoon tea, and it's only $25 per person. It's going to start at 2 o'clock We go for about 3 hours-ish. Sometimes we go a little bit over if we're chatting a lot, but we try to keep it to 3 hours. And registrations are going to close on Saturday, the 6th of April. Now, these cards that you see here in this image are not necessarily the cards we're going to be creating. In fact, it's probably not any of those that we're going to be creating, but that's just an image just to promote my class. So I'll remind you about that again at the end, hopefully if I remember. But yes, you are very welcome to come and attend that. That's an in-person class. We'd love to have you along. So if you have any more questions about that, feel free to get in contact with me. I do have a link for that. I'm going to pop my link up here in the comments as well. I will, as I said, I will put this video over on YouTube, and I'll make sure that all of my links are underneath the video over there on YouTube as well. So let me grab my, oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on a sec. Let me grab it down here. Card buffet. There we go, and I'll pop that there in the comments over here on the video today. All right, now if you are watching the replay, thank you so much for coming and watching the replay. If you're watching over on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. And even if you're watching here on Facebook and you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, feel free to jump over there and subscribe to that as well. That would be fantastic. Then you'll be sure to be notified every time you upload, I upload a new video. Oh, but to be notified, make sure you click on the little bell icon and select how you'd like to be notified. So yeah, so that is that. All right, well, we have got some things coming up, but I'm going to share. Hey Brenton, how are you? Thank you for joining me. So we're going to jump straight into our project today, and I'll share a few things as we go along. Yeah, I'm going to tip the camera down. We're going to jump straight in. I'm on a bit of a timeline today because we have visitors this afternoon, so we're going to jump straight in. So I am going to cover up the camera and we're going to get started. Feel free to chat with me as we are crafting. I will look up from time to time to check my comments, but it's great to have you all here. And let me know something, as I get the camera ready, let me know in the comments something special that you did over this Easter long weekend. All right, here we go. I'm going to get the camera ready. So let me know in the comments what is something special that you did over this Easter long weekend. Here we go. All right, I'll get this all set up. Oh, I've got to tighten up that one too. Nearly missed one of the clamps, so we would have had the camera falling all the way down. And that wouldn't have been very good, would it? Okay. There we go. Now, we've got grid paper today because we're going to be doing a little bit of inking and getting a little bit messy. Now, I knew I would have to move this over. I knew that wasn't going to be in the right spot. So let me just get this lined up where I need to have it for my camera. And we might even need to bring the camera out a little bit. So let's just, I'm just going to move this. Sorry if I make you all a bit seasick. There we go. That's a bit better. All right. And we'll move this down a tad. How's that looking? Looking pretty straight. That looks pretty good, I think. Alrighty. I'll just take it up just a tad. All right, good. That gives us a good space there to create with. So, as I said, I've got new lights. I finally got my act together because I've been saying for how long now that I needed new lights. Finally went and got them. They're completely different type of lights to what I've had before. So I've been doing lots and lots of testing with them. So hopefully all the colors and everything will be fantastic today. All right, now what we're going to be creating with today is a couple of different products. But the main product that we're going to be creating with is the Easter lilies. Now, I thought that this was very appropriate because it's the Easter long weekend. However, I'm going to show you a different purpose for this bundle. Now, this is just the stamp set. Let me grab the dies as well. To use them for something other than Easter. Okay, so my grid paper is upside down, Amber says. Oh, it is too. Thank you, Amber. See, lucky she's watching and she's on the ball. It is too. You know what? I didn't even look for the Stampin' Up logo. I was looking at the flowers and thought, oh yeah, that looks right. Hey, Dimity, how are you? Yes, I am on today. I wasn't sure if I was going to be on today either. I was tossing up whether or not to give myself some time off today, being that it's a public holiday. But I thought, well, you know what? I've got to make a card anyway. I need one for a very special occasion. Now I've got to line this all back up again while I'm talking to you. And I thought, well, I've got to make this card anyway, so I may as well come online and make it with all of you. Well, I've already designed it, but I haven't finished putting it all together because I was going to do that with you. Now, I just realized I've still got my March host code sitting here. I haven't closed that yet today, so I'm going to leave it sit there. It is valid still for today, which is the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. It is still valid for today because I haven't closed it off yet because of the public holiday. But there will be a new one from tomorrow, from the 2nd of April. Well, in fact, I might even set it up tonight. But this one's still open at the moment. I won't be closing this one till later tonight or tomorrow morning. So, yeah, you can still use this one today if you are shopping with me. All right, so Easter Lilies. I'm going to show you how to use this for a different occasion. Now, sorry about the reflections. I'm not yet used to my new lights and working out all of the reflections and stuff. So we'll get to that. Oh, you didn't do a thing, Brenton. You had, that was special for you, having a quiet one. So you had a quiet long weekend. Well, that's really good. Sometimes that's needed too, isn't it? Just to have that downtime, a bit of a wind down and relax. So that's good. We didn't do a lot either, actually, to be honest, apart from church on Good Friday and yesterday, Easter Sunday. We just have really had a quiet weekend. Yeah. Bit of napping and just chilling. Yeah, my hubby's been doing a bit of gardening. He's putting in a new garden out the front, so he's getting that all finished off this weekend, so that's great. Oh, we did go to the nursery to pick some flowers. Oh, not flowers, plants. Not flowers, plants. Sorry, I'm thinking about flowers. Anyway, so this is the suite the bundle we're going to be using, the Easter Lilies. Now, the Easter Lilies, hey Angela, how are you? Great to have you with us today. We are going to be creating a very special card today with this, not for Easter. However, I did use this for something for Easter, and I also received a card from one of my beautiful team members and very good dear friend using this bundle as well. So I thought that I would show those to you as well. So this is a photopolymer stamp set. And we've got some lovely, beautiful sentiments here. And then we've got these lovely stamped images, which are a bit bigger than what you see on the stamp case because they're shown at 80% on the stamp case. So they're actually quite a bit bigger. So they're the clear photopolymer stamps. We're actually going to be focusing on the dies though today. So these are the Easter Lily dies, Easter Lilies, plural, dies, and so this is what we're going to be focusing on today. Predominantly the actual lilies themselves, and we've got three components or four actually. We've got the three leaf parts of the lilies plus the stamens, and then we've got the two leaves as well that we're going to be using. These other pieces here, these open dies, they cut the stamped images. Okay, so we're not using those stamped images today. Now, I'm not using any of the sentiments from this stamp set today either because I'm actually going to be using a different stamp set because I needed a congratulations sentiment. But let me just share with you the card that I received. So this is the card I received from the beautiful Chitska from my my team, and this is just so beautiful. And she's used those the lily dies here as well to create those lilies, or that lily, I should say, on that card. So isn't that just beautiful? And she's used one of the sentiments from the stamp set as well. And then I made, you may have seen yesterday, I made, so this is my Easter bag. So this still has my goodies in there. I'll do that back up actually. I made these for my family, and all of my family are adults now. So they didn't get any fancy bags or anything, but I did, because I love using just brown paper bags. But I did make beautiful tags to attach to the handle, and I used some of the upcoming in colors as well, and a little bit of vellum, which sadly the vellum has already sold out and is not carrying over into the new catalog, so that's already gone. So I was using up a little bit of my vellum, but yeah, I used the stamps, and for the background I used the tailored made tags for the actual tag itself. And I used the alphabet a la mode dies for the letters. So I did the letter of each person in the family so that they knew whose bag was whose. So there's a couple of different ways of using the bundle that we're using today. And this has got my goodies. And yes, I have opened it and started to eat my Easter eggs, which are very yummy, I have to say. But what we're going to be making today is an engagement card. So a very special engagement card, and the people that I'm making these for do not watch my lives, so we are safe. Okay, so let me show you what I've got so far. I'll show you the other products that we're using as we go along. But I have made, I'm going to show you how to make these, but I have made these beautiful lilies, and I was playing around with color last night. Aren't they just stunning? They look quite realistic actually. So I was playing around with colors last night and doing a little bit of Pinteresting to make sure that I got the colors sort of right. And there's so many different colors of lilies, like you really can't go wrong. But this is kind of my favorite color of lilies. And I love lilies. I love receiving them in bouquets of flowers. So we've done a bit of inking. I'm going to show you how to create those. We've got our leaves here. I've shaped them, curled them, etc. We've got an embossed piece. We've just got a very, we're going to have a very narrow border piece of greenery. This is Mossy Meadow. And then we've got a white card base. So because it's an engagement card, I'm keeping it very white based. And then we've got some gold thread. Now, I'm going to show you a few tips with different gold thread, and then we're going to decide which one we're going to use. I did pull out a little bow as well. I wasn't sure if I was going to use that or not. Okay, so let me share with you how we are going to create these flowers and leaves, and then we're going to put this card together. Okay, let's start with the dies first. So I'll bring in my little mini for the moment while we're just cutting. So I used my mini last night for cutting all of my dies while I was watching a little bit of Netflix. And but when we get to the embossing, we do need to use the big machine because the embossing folder is too big for this machine. All right, so we're going to want our 3 flower pieces. So you'll notice that on my background sheet, I have traced each of the oh, that's interesting. My video replay screen just went black, and I'm actually on Safari this time, and normally that does not happen with Safari. So let me just refresh that. All right, so we're going to use, they're the petals, and this is the smallest petal. Then we're going to use the stamens and the 2 leaves. Okay. And I haven't put these on magnetic sheets yet. I'm not using the magnetic sheets quite as much these days. I use them mainly for the dies that I know that I use regularly, like my large basic shapes and things like that. But some of these sheets that I don't use as frequently, I've just started to trace them because the magnetic sheets can get a little bit expensive, and they can get quite heavy as well when I'm, you know, for storage too, once you add up lots of them. So yeah, so just started to do that. Which the other thing I also do sometimes, if I don't do this with tracing, I use a I just use a fine tip Sharpie to trace around each of the dies. Or what I do is I scan the dies before I remove them from the sheet when I first get them, if I remember to and if I have time, and then I keep that in there as well so that I know how to place my dies back on. So that's just a couple of different ideas. You can use magnetic sheets, you can use the tracing technique, or you can use the scanning technique so that you know how to fit your dies back on these sheets. Because sometimes if you take these all off and then try to get them back on your sheets, it's hard to fit them back on, especially the die sets that have a lot of dies. All right, so these are the dies that we're going to use. We're going to use a little bit of white cardstock. Now I need to cut this at about 8.5 centimeters to fit through the mouth here of my die, my plates. The plates measure 9 centimeters, but I like to have a little bit of space either side. So I'm just going to trim this down to 8.5. And then that will give me some space there. All right. Then we're going to, we want to put that plate to the side. So I've just got my my base plate number 1 on the bottom. I've just got mine flipped over because I haven't been flipping it enough and it's becoming a little bit bowed. So I've just got it flipped over the other side. Then we've got our clear plate number 2, and then our dies. So I found that placing the dies this way, they fit really well. Okay, so we don't need all of that. Now this one is going to be cut in a different color. Just trying to think of the name of it. What is it called? Soft sea foam. So I'm just going to trim my cardstock across here. I'm just going to hack that because I'll just use that a bit as a scrap. And pop that back on here. We'll lay these back out again. Maximize our cardstock there by layering our dies in this way. Now we are going to need 2 of this little one. Okay, so I'm going to try and tuck him in there without touching. You don't want your dies touching. Actually, if I go that way, that will be better because then I'll fit the extra one up there. All right, so pop them down there. I'm going to use a little bit of my Post-it tape to just hold those all in place. We'll grab, I've got a scrap here of soft sea foam, and I'm going to just snip a little bit out of there, and we'll run that one through at the same time. Okay, so we'll take those through. Now I'm only going to cut and color one because I've actually already got the other ones done ready. So I'm just going to show you how to do it with one, so that we just save a bit of time. Now, why is that not coming up now? Okay, there we go. Now I've got it. Okay, good. All right, has anybody else used the Easter Lillies bundle? Let me know in the comments if you have. Okay, so there's one of our pieces. That's that one. And we'll just take our Take a Pick tool. Where did I put that now? Here it is. And you've got little release holes in the back of each of your dies. So you just poke those and that will release the cardstock from your dies. And we'll get this one out as well. Or you can use the die brush, or the die brush attachment for the Take Your Pick tool, which you can purchase separately from the Take Your Pick tool. And it comes with 2 foam mats as well that coordinate with it. There we go. All right, and we'll take this one out as well. Just poke those out there. So there's different colouring techniques that you can use for these. Today we're going to be doing a little bit with blending brushes, sponge daubers, and some oh my goodness, Stampin' Blends. Sorry, out of my head. Got a lot on my mind this week. All right, now for the leaves, we are going to cut them from some lemon lime twist. Let me grab that. All right, I've got some lemon lime twist here, and I just need to trim this to 8.5. Fit through our plates. There we go. I need to move that one up a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to do one of each of the leaves just to show you, but you'll be able to do multiples because you'll need multiples for your flowers. I think I've got about 7 on my, I will have 7 on my card. You don't have this set, Dimity? This one is actually retiring, and it's going to be on special in the last chance sales, which start on the 9th of April. So I'm going to show you that in the catalogue in a moment. I'll show you where to find them, and I'll show you the amazing price that they're going to be reduced to, because this one is not carrying over into the new annual catalogue. So the new annual catalogue will be coming out in May. For those of you who are Stampin' Up demonstrators, you can start ordering from the new catalogue tomorrow in the pre-order. That's the 2nd of April. We get to order some of the new products early. So that's one of the perks of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you would like to get your hands on some of those products early and you're not yet a demonstrator, you are welcome to join my team, and you can add some of those new products into your starter kit. So you might have seen the last couple of weeks I've actually shared some videos, and if you missed them, go back and watch them, because I shared some of the new products that are coming out. We did a big unboxing last week, and the week before that I shared some of the new things that I received at Onstage when we went to Onstage down in Melbourne, which is our Stampin' Up annual convention, which is always an awesome time. So yeah, if you missed it, then the next one will be March of next year in Brisbane. So start saving up, because it is awesome. You won't want to miss another one. And if you've been to one, you'll never want to miss another one ever again. That's just how it is. All right, so we've got these 3 pieces for our flower, for our lily, for each lily that you need. And then you've got, you'll cut several leaves depending on how many leaves you want, and you've got your stamen as well. Okay, so they're all the pieces that you need. You just might need additional leaves, but I just want to show you just with those ones. All right, before we move on, I'll show you where to find this. So the January to April mini catalogue is one of the catalogues that is retiring, as well as the big annual catalogue, which is, oops, oh, hang on a minute, I'm dropping everything here. Dropping things and rolling over them with my chair. So we're going to have this catalogue that's going to be retiring, as well as this catalogue, which is the annual catalogue, the current annual catalogue. They're both retiring at the end of April. So there are some products that are carrying over, but there's an awful lot that is retiring. And if you're subscribed to my email list, you would have got last week the lists of all the retiring products, okay? The annual catalogue in particular has got a long list of retired products, and I've got the large format that one of the beautiful demonstrators in Australia put together, because the original list is so teeny tiny it's hard to read. So I've got these copies, and that was what was on my newsletter. So if you're not yet subscribed to my newsletter, feel free to do that so that you can be kept up to date with all the latest Stampin' Up news, specials, my classes, etc. And I'm going to now just put up my Linktree link, which has all of my links in there, so you can grab the links to these lists in there. Now, for each market, they're going to be different, or each country, they're going to be a little bit different in terms of pricings and things like this. So this is the Australian price list. Okay, I don't have the New Zealand prices listed on here as well, just the Australian prices. Okay, just so you know that. And there's going to be up to 60% off some of these last chance products that are retiring, which is amazing. So one of those reduced products is what we're using today. Now, they're not going to be 60%, but the stamp set, the Easter Lillies stamp set on page 26 is going to be reduced to 30%. So it's only going to be $29.40 for the stamp set. And the dies are going to be reduced by 50%, which is amazing. And they're going to be $30. So this will be from the 9th of April. Okay. Even though I've got now, that's for when the sale goes up on the 9th of April. And that'll go until the 30th of April, or while supplies last. Okay. So this bundle will be reduced, but just take note that the bundle price itself won't be reduced. So don't purchase with the bundle. Purchase the stamp set separately to the dies. Okay, so you need to add the two separate items. Okay, now if you don't have a catalogue and you need the codes for that, or you can't read the codes here in my video, then please feel free to get in contact with me and I'm happy to give you those codes for those products. Okay, but it's on page 26 of the mini catalogue, or you can find it in my online store. So if you go to mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com and just click on the shop button, and that'll take you through to my online store. All right, let's get to colouring these flowers. So we've got a few colours here. We have got Petal Pink. Pretty in Pink is one of the new in colours that are coming out in the new annual catalogue. We've got Garden Green, Cajun Craze, Lemon Lime Twist, and Pretty in Pink. Actually, I didn't end up using the Pretty Peacock, Pretty Peacock I didn't end up using in the end in the final project. So we'll take that one out. I'm also going to be using some Versamark ink because we're going to be embossing the sentiment in gold. So we need the Versamark ink and the metallics embossing powders, and we're using the gold from the metallics. Okay, so we need those as well. All right, so that's what we're going to be starting with. You're going to need some blending brushes. I've got a combo here of the small and the regular. I found that the small were the better ones for colouring small areas of the flowers. Oh, I don't need the Pretty Peacock one because we're not using that one now. Yeah, so, and I just used the large one for the leaves. Okay, so we are going to start off with the flowers, and I'm going to show you how to do the flowers. Oh, we also need a sponge dauber for the Petal Pink. Okay, so you need one of those as well. And then we're going to use a dark Cajun Craze Stampin' Blends for the stamens, or parts of the stamens. And we're using the Early Espresso Stampin' Right marker for the, this is one I prepared earlier, for the little spots on the flowers. Okay, so that's some of the things we're going to be using. All right, so we're going to start off with Pretty in Pink. I'll just move my blending brushes out of the way. Okay, we're going to be starting off with a little bit of Pretty in Pink. So when you load up your brush with your ink, just tap it off on your scrap paper, or if you have the glass mat, you can tap it off on the edge of the glass mat, or you can use a silicone craft sheet as well, just so that it's not too heavy when you start to colour. Okay, then you're going to start off the page in circular motions, and then you're going to take, or off the item, I should say, and then bring the colour in. Now, with the colours in my lily, my chosen colour of lily, the main colour is in the centre of the flowers, and it just radiates a little bit into the petals. Okay, so we don't need too much ink. We're not colouring the whole flower. Then we'll do the same with the next part of the flower. We'll just take that colour up a little way up those petals. I was going to say leaves, but these are the petals. Okay, so that's as easy as that is. Then we'll do a little bit on these little ones. And a little bit on this one. Who else loves their blending brushes? Do you love your blending brushes? Have you tried the little ones yet? The small blending brushes? They're really great. All right, so that's as much pink as we need on there now. And I love this new Pretty in Pink color. It is gorgeous. It's so pretty. So this is one of the new in colors that are coming. So you'll love that one. Next, we're going to use Pretty in Pink. And Pretty in Pink, my label has faded on mine, so you can't really tell the true color of the Pretty in Pink. But it's quite an apricot sort of color. This time I'm going to use a sponge dauber. And these come in a pack of 5. And I'm going to just put a little bit down here. And then I'm just going to put a little bit coming out over the pink. So I'm sort of going over the pink a little bit, but I don't want to take away the full pink color. And I just want to add that little bit of that sort of apricot-y sort of color like that. Okay. So you're not really blending the colors fully together because you still want to see a bit of that pink. Okay, so you want to see a bit of the pink and a little bit of the apricot-y sort of color. Okay, I'm going to do the same. Now this time I'm just going to turn these up this way because this is the way they're going to sit on the flower. And I just want to bring that color down there a little bit. There we go. Let's bring that down a little bit more on these petals because they're only small little petals. Okay, so that's our flower petals, and that's as easy as it is. All right. Okay, now we'll continue with the flowers. So then with the flowers, with each of the leaves, we need, or each of the petals, I should say, we need to add the little spots. Now you can either add them in a dark color, and it depends on what you want to do. You can add them in the same color, so I would use the Pretty in Pink, or you can use a darker color in the Early Espresso. It depends on the color of your lilies that you are trying to achieve. And I'm just using the bullet tip. These are double-ended, so they have a bullet tip and a brush tip, but we want very fine little dots, so we're just going to use the bullet tip to just do some very fine dots. And if you've ever seen a lily, they have the little spots on the petals coming out from the center. And some have a lot, some have a little, and some you can't even see at all. I'm just going to put my glasses on so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just wanting to hold my marker at 90 degrees to the paper, just so I don't get any little flicks of the, and I'm just trying to add them randomly. And we can come back in and add a few more once we've assembled the flowers if we see that it needs a little bit more. Okay, Okay, I did try the flicking technique to achieve this, but it laid down too much ink for what I wanted, so I didn't go with that one. I ended up actually throwing that one out. I wasn't happy with it. So there you go. So just make sure they kind of look like they're a bit random. You don't want them looking too sort of uniform. Got a couple of little flicky ones here, but that's okay. All right, there we go. Okay, now we'll pop those over to the side and we're going to colour our stamen. So with the stamen, we're going to use some lemon lime twist ink, and I played with different colours for the stamens, and this is what I came up with that I liked the best, was using the small brush, having more white tips. Oh, that's right, I started off with the I just remembered I started off with the using the soft sea foam, and then I changed to white in the last one that I did. Now, do I have a spare one or do I need to cut another one? I just remembered. So you can do either. You can use this colour or you can use white. I just remembered I did use white on that last one, so I might do another white one so I can show you. Actually, we can do one of each and then I can show you the difference in how the colours look. Let me just quickly die cut one of these. Chat amongst yourselves for a moment while I just whip this through the machine. There we go. So it's just a subtle difference in the colours between using the white and the soft sea foam, but I did a whole heap of them in soft sea foam and I really liked them, and then I thought, oh, I might just try one in white. And then I'm like, oh, actually, like that one better. All right, we'll do one of each and then I'll show you the difference. All right, so often with the stamens, they are quite bright green down near the bottom and then they're whiter up near the top. So that's kind of what I ended up doing with the last one, just taking the colour up to sort of that wider part there on the stamen and leaving the tips white. And with I'll do the same on the soft sea foam one, and you can see the difference in the colours when I finish them. There we go. All right, and then for the actual stamen part, the little pollen part on the end, we're going to take a little bit of dark Cajun Craze. I'm going to use my blending brush end, and just those tiny little, see those little blobby bits on the end of the stamen? We're just going to colour those with the Stampin' Blend to look like that pollen, because you know that pollen on those lilies is really sort of orangey brown in colour. Sorry, I can do this down on the desk here. Don't forget that little one in there. Okay, and there it is finished. And then let's do this one as well. If you're worried about the control of the brush tip, you could use the bullet tip for this. There we go. So there's the two different stamens. So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer it in the white or do you prefer it in the soft sea foam? Wait until you see it in the flowers. It looks quite different in the flowers. Actually, I can show you the difference. So this one, I first sponge daubed the tips and then I went over them with the Stampin' Blend, but this was the soft sea foam and this one here was the white. So you can kind of see the difference. I did colour them a little bit differently. With this one I put the green colour towards the top and the base of it was white, and then I realised that's actually not the correct colour tone of the stamens. So then I switched it up, and this one isn't shaped quite as well as this one either. I added some extra shaping to this one. So you can see the difference there. Either looks great. This one's just a little bit more realistic. Okay, so there we go. All right. Okay, so now we've got the, we'll leave them over there. We'll do the leaves. So for the leaves, I've die cut them in lemon lime twist, and we're going to take a little bit of garden green. And this time I'm going to use my large brush because I've got my darker greens on my large brush. So ink your brush up, we'll load it up, tap it off, and then, so with this leaf, you've got the wider part at the bottom and the finer part at the top. And you're just simply going to add some ink just about halfway down. And you can go as deep as you want to, depending on the color of your leaves. If you see lilies, their long leaves like this are quite bright green. And then we're going to do the same with the wider leaf. And it doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same, because the leaves have got different variegation in them anyway. So there you go. So there's our leaves, and that's as easy as it is. Isn't that really quick and easy? So there you go. Now the Cajun Craze ink I didn't use, but if you wanted to, you could use a sponge dauber to do the stamens. Just this little one in here, this little tiny one in here, I found that was a little bit hard to get with the dauber. You kind of had to lift up this outer one, trying not to bend it, etc. I just found it was easier, and I got a deeper color using the Stampin' Right marker. But I did start out with the dauber and the Cajun Craze. Not this dauber though, I've got a different dauber for Cajun Craze. Okay, so I'll just put that up there. All right, so that is our coloring. So I created 2 of the lilies, doing it that way. Now we're going to do a little bit of shaping. So we need our, hang on, let me just rearrange myself here. Put my markers back away. We're going to need a bone folder, and we're going to shape these leaves. Now the leaves are going to curl upwards, so we're going to turn it upside down, put it on our bone folder, put our thumb over the top, and you're just going to slide. And as I'm sliding, see how I'm flicking the bone folder, and that gives us that beautiful curl on the leaves. Oh look, it's giving me a thumbs up because Facebook thought that I was doing thumbs up, but I'm actually not. I'm shaping my leaves. All right, now with your flower petals, we're going to shape the flowers down. Okay, so that they're going to fall down that way. Then we're going to come back and shape the centers. So my original ones, I shaped the centers once I had assembled them, but I thought, oh, it's actually going to be easier if I do that, I think, before I put them together. Okay, so shaping each of those. And then with the stamen, I'm going to use the one that's got the white. We want the stamen to sort of sit up. So I'm going to turn it upside down, and very gently with this one, because of all of those little pieces, it's quite delicate. I'm just going to shape them so that it sits up like that. Okay, so it's going to sit up like that. Okay, and this one I'm not going to shape yet. I'm just going to set that one aside for another project. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my shaping mat. Now, if you didn't want to shape them, that is totally fine. You can just leave them flat as they are, but I do like to do a little bit of shaping. So this is a Stampin' Pierce mat. This is one, I've got a few of these. This is one I use for shaping and piercing. I do have another one that I use for stamping. The ones that I use for shaping and piercing can get a little bit dinted sometimes, and I don't want to use that one for my stamping. So you can use the opposite side. In fact, do I have stamping on the other side of this one? Yeah. So this side is for stamping only, and you can see I've even got a little bit of ink on there. And this side I use for my shaping and piercing. So you can do it that way too. All right, so we want to shape these parts of the flowers. Now, with your Take Your Pick tool, whoops, not that one, this one. with your Take Your Pick tool, you do get stylus attachments for it. Actually, they go on this end. I've got mine stored in my special little box here. Here are the styluses that come with it. So you just twist off the end there, and then this just twists in. Now, if you're doing any shaping, you want to use the largest stylus, okay? And because we've got our petals curling under that way, see how it's popping up on the mat? We want to just press down this center part here. We want this all to sit down, okay? So that our petals are sort of coming up and over. Now, I actually have an old shaping tool which has a really big stylus on it, and I love this one for this reason because it's nice and big. So I like to use that one. So on these little leaves, or petals I mean, we're just going to do the edge. And then this one we're just going to do in this center part here. Okay, and that'll give us a little bit more shape. We can add more shape as we put that all together. Now, if obviously you don't have a big tool like that, you can use your small stylus. Just go gently. If you find, here's a little tip for you. If you find that it's gripping on your cardstock, it means that it's needs a little bit of, just a little bit of oil. So you can run it through your hair. That's a little tip I learned many years ago. You just run it through your hair to pick up a little bit of oil from your hair, from your scalp, and it'll run across the cardstock much more easily. Hey Glenda, how are you? Great to have you with us. Happy Easter weekend. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. Now the 2 petals are going to sit behind the 3 petals. So we're going to put a little bit of glue here. Okay, and then we're going to sit these 2 petals behind there, just lining them up so that they're in between, they're sitting in between those ones there, and you're going to line up the 2 bulbous bottom parts there. Okay, then you're going to add your stamen, so just put a little bit of glue on the stamen. The stamen is going to sit down about there in the center of that middle leaf. Oh, that's good to hear, Glenda. Thank you. Middle petal, I mean, not leaf. All right, and then with these 2, we're going to attach them so that, just put a little bit of glue along the bottom here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put my Do Not Disturb on as well. Let me just do that now on my watch, and that'll put that on all of my devices, because otherwise I don't want somebody to try and ring me. So this one is going to go on this side, covering up that stamen and just sitting down about there. And then we've got this one, and you can see now how the lily is taking shape. Isn't it beautiful? There we go. And then you can just tweak these. Oops, I want to cover up that stamen. Tweak these till you get them sitting how you like. And because we've got that liquid glue, we can just keep on playing with those for a little few moments until we get those sitting how we would like them. But I think that's about right. Okay, and then we'll just give them a nice firm press, and there is our beautiful lily. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if once you get that done, if that center part is still not sitting down enough for you, just come back in with your stylus and just press that all down. Now, mine's not dry yet, so, and I'm going to come in underneath the stamen there and just press down the center of the flower, each of those petals there. Just pressing that with my stylus. Okay, so then the center should be depressed down, and then the leaves should be curling over. And if you find after fiddling with them, you just need to add a little bit more curl back into your petals, you can just add a little bit more curl back into them. There we go. Isn't that just so stunning? There's such beautiful flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? You love the lily set, Glenda? Yes. Do you have this one? It's really beautiful. And you can just press down with your finger in the middle too to help sort of shape those petals a little bit too. But the stylus does help because the stylus breaks down the fibers in the cardstock and makes it a little bit more pliable. There we go. Oh, thank you, Glenda. Glenda says mine looks so real. Thank you. Yeah, so there you go. And then you're just going to add your leaves how you like to add them, depending on your project. Okay, so that's how we create the lilies. So let's do some stamping of our sentiment, and I'll show you what we're using for that. So we're going to be using the Sweetly Scripted stamp set. This is from Online Exclusive. So this one is still available and it's going to be carrying over, and it'll be available in the Online Exclusives for quite some time, I'd say. We're going to be using the congratulations because we're making an engagement card. So that's the one we're going to be using. So we'll go ahead and stamp that, and we're going to be embossing that. I did do a stamped one in the black already, but then Amber sort of looked at what I had done and she said, oh, Mum, aren't you going to do that in gold? And I'm like, oh, well, I did think of that actually, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll just keep it plain and do black. And she said, no, try it in the gold. So we're going to do it in the gold. So I've got a strip here which measures 14.1 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters. So I hope that I get this stamped straight because we're going to be stamping in Versamark and then embossing. So that's going to be a little bit trickier to see. So I've got my gold embossing powder. I've got my Versamark. I'm not sure what color. Let me just grab my tray. Now, I've got my Stampin' Up tray. I did use white in this last time and I haven't cleaned that out. I do have my very old tray here. I might use that one for the gold. I think I used that one for metallics last time. But the Stampin' Up tray, I love this one better because it's so much better. It's got this little lip here. It's got the cap so that you can, over the spout, so you can secure it until you're ready to pour it back into your container, the excess that is. And this one also comes with the embossing buddy, which let's remember to use our embossing buddy today. I always forget the brush and the tweezers. Okay, so that is the kit that comes together. That's the Embossing Additions Toolkit. So if you don't have this and you love to do embossing, then make sure you grab that because it's really great. It's a really great tool to have. All right, now, but mine isn't clean. I haven't cleaned out the white from it, so I'm not going to use that one today. All right, let's get our stamps. So I've already put all of my stickers on my stamps. So this Sweetly Scripted is a red rubber stamp set. Okay, so you've got the red rubber, then you've got the foam, so you've got the cushioning already built into the stamp, and I've applied my stickers already. I did that today before I went live, which is why one of the reasons I was a few minutes late. Okay, so we're going to ink this up in Versamark. So we'll just give that a couple of goes over, make sure I get it nice and inky. And because I'm stamping on a narrow strip, I'm going to just use my eye and my grid paper to try and line this up and hope that I get it straight. And I forgot to use my embossing buddy, didn't I? Silly, silly. Never mind, it's okay. Now I'm going to use my old tray today. Because as I said, my other one, my Stampin' Up one is not clean. And it's got white powder in it. And I don't want to get my white and my metallics mixed up, because then I'll just ruin my embossing powders. All right, now being very careful to not get my fingers on the embossing. Actually, let's use I'll switch over to my tweezers now. I'm going to take the handle of my paintbrush and just tap the back of that very gently. And then I'm going to use my brush to brush off the extra little granules that are there because I forgot to use my embossing buddy. Now, if I used my embossing buddy first, that would not have happened. Okay, that doesn't look too bad though. I think I got most of those extra little granules off, so that's pretty good. All right, so let's return that excess back to the container. I'll just use my brush, sweep that in. There we go. Cap that, always cap your embossing powder and put the lid back on your ink before you turn on your heat tool, because otherwise disasters can happen. Now I've got my Stampin' Up heat tool. It's got two settings. Number one is for if you are drying something. So if you're doing watercoloring or you're just wanting to dry some ink, number one heat setting is a gentler heat. So that's the one you want to use. But for heat embossing, we need to turn it up to number 2. So I'm just going to turn it on to warm it up for a moment, just off camera. For a minute. Oh, it's in your next order, Glenda. Fantastic. That's great. All right, and now you're just going to melt that embossing powder until it becomes shiny and raised. And as it starts to melt, you're going to move your embossing tool along. Okay, you don't want to overheat it, because if you overheat it, it'll actually go flat and dull. You won't get that beautiful embossed shiny look. Whoops, this part is a little bit flapping in the wind. There we go, and that is done. And then you can just have a look. It's always good to do embossing, heat embossing under good light. So then you can just see, now can you see that, depending on which way I hold it in the light, can you see that it's shiny and raised? A little bit hard under the lights. Oh, there we go. I think you've caught it there. Okay. So there we go. So there we've got our sentiment ready to go. And we've got all of our components. Now I've got, oh, the other thing is too, I've got a layer here of basic white cardstock, which I have embossed with, let me find it, my very favorite time-worn type embossing folder. Now I'm really sad this one is going to be retiring in the annual catalogue, but it just gives such a beautiful finish. We do have some other beautiful embossing folders coming, but yeah, I'm really sad that this one is going, and I think I marked it in the catalogue to show you. No, not that one. I think it's this one down here at the back. There it is there. So when the last chance sale goes up on the 9th of April, the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder is going to be 30% off, and you can get it for just $13.47, which is really, really cheap. And that's on page 169 of your annual catalogue, or you can find it in the online store. Okay, so that's a really good discount, and it's such a beautiful embossing folder. It's probably my most used, one of my most used embossing folders. So yeah, so I'm not going to do that step again now because I've already done that ahead of time just to save a bit of time. But this piece was measuring 14.25 by 10.1 centimeters to give us a nice border. All right, so here's all my pieces that I prepared earlier. So I've got my flowers already made. I've got my leaves already made. Now I've got 7 different leaves there. I've got a layer of Mossy Meadow. Hang on, I've got little fibers. I was fiddling with ribbon before. I've got a little layer of Mossy Meadow, which is just going to give me about a 1 to 1.5 millimeter border. I think it's a 1 millimeter border around the edge, just to give a little bit of pop of color behind that embossed piece. And then I've got a basic white card base. Okay, so this is just half a piece of A4 cardstock, cut in half at 14.85, and then fold. So it's 21 by 14.85, and then scored and folded at 10.5. Sorry, getting myself confused there. So these are how the layers are going to go, like this. Okay, so these two are going to be adhered together. In fact, you know what? I'm going to adhere these two together now. Oops, before I do that, what didn't I do? Didn't clean my stamp. Always important to clean our stamps straight away. And just broke one of my own rules, and I didn't clean it yet, did I? So let's do that first. Keep them in good condition by cleaning all that ink off straight away. That looks good. All right. Okay, now let's come back to this. All right, I'm going to adhere these two layers together first. So it's just less moving parts so that we can fiddle with the other components. Now I've already got an idea of how I want to lay my flowers and my leaves out, which I had laid out, and I took a photo so that I'd remember how I had them. The only thing is ribbon. I hadn't decided on how I wanted the ribbon. All right, so let's just adhere these together. Now, if you do want the measurements for this project, it will be up on my blog later this week. And when I do put it up on my blog, I will post it on my Facebook page. This is being given on the weekend, next weekend. So I'm not sure if I'll actually post it live before then. But I know I am filming it live, but I know the recipients do not watch my live recordings, so it's all good. All right, so then we've just got, so it's just going to be, because it's an engagement card, as I said, it's very out of my comfort zone, I have to say, because you know I always use a lot of color and a lot of inking and things. Well, I've got the inking on the flowers, but the base is very white, which is not usually what I do. But we are changing it up today. All right, so we're going to have the flowers, something like that. The congratulations, oh, I've still got sticky glue on my fingers. Hang on, let me just move my trays out of the way. Okay, then my congratulations is going to go up on dimensionals, and it's going to go along the bottom there. Okay, so it's going there. That actually, the gold actually looks beautiful in real life. You might not be able to see it. I think I actually cut that a little bit shorter than my layer, but that's okay because it's white on white. I thought I'd cut it the same width as my layer, but it's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And then we're going to put in our beautiful leaves. Now let me just bring up my photo on my computer of how I had the leaves situated to make sure that I get them in the right spot. Something like that. Okay, so we had a long one up here, and I'm just going to place everything first before I adhere anything, because as I said, I want to play with the ribbon and I want to make sure that I'm happy with where everything is situated before I adhere anything as well. So we'll do that there, something like that. And then these two are overlapping. See, moving parts. I don't want to attach this down to my card base yet, in case I decide to wrap any ribbon around it. I don't think I will, but I just didn't want to stick it down yet, just in case I change my mind on that. Okay, that one there, and then this one was going to go there like that. Now, the thing is, we don't want our leaves to go outside of the border of our card, because Otherwise, then they're going to catch in the envelope if you're using a normal envelope. So you might even need to trim the end off, the bottom end off some of these leaves, because I think they're going to be a little bit too long. Pop that one in there. This one in here. And then this one was going to go down here, overlapping this one somehow, because I wanted to make sure I had an odd number of leaves, not an even number. So it's going to go something like that. Isn't that looking gorgeous? So, so pretty. And then we've got some ribbon. Now, I'll show you a few ribbons that I've got. I wanted to add the gold in. We've got the Simply Elegant trim, which is also going to be retiring. Very, very sad, because I love this stuff. What I did with this is I was playing with the gold, and I thought, oh, it might be a little bit heavy, because I was maybe going to wrap it. But as I was wrapping it, like I was doing the, you know, the nest wrap, but as I let it go, it all sort of twisted and went all weird, and it was really hard to get it to sit nicely. So then I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a bow. And then I thought, hang on, I wonder if I can separate the fibers of this, which is what I did. It was a little bit finicky, and you have to pull out the, so inside this twine is fabric fibers. I actually kept them here. No, that's not the one. Oh, I think they're buried in my bin now. But there's like fabric fibers throughout the center of this twine, which gives it the strength. So I pulled them out first, and then I started unraveling each of the little fibers, little gold fibers. And this is what I ended up with. Now, it was a little bit tedious to get them out, but I got there in the end. They're quite curly-whirly, but I think they might look really good. But I'm going to show you a couple of other techniques as well to use with the different ribbons to get some little gold fibers if you're wanting some gold fibers. So, of course, we've got the gold from the gold and silver combo. So I thought, well, that was another option. But again, I wanted something fine and delicate, so it might be a little bit heavy. We've got the satin edge ribbon, the gold with vanilla satin edge ribbon, and I did take some of that. I've got 2 rolls here because this one is nearly empty. So what I did is I made a little faux knot or a little knot, I guess you'd say, a faux bow, with a little piece of that. And I thought, well, that's pretty too. So that could even sit there. And even though it's the vanilla, I think you can get away with it because of the coloration of the flowers. So I thought, well, that might be nice in there. But then also too, you've got this ribbon, which is the pretty peacock and gold metallic ribbon. And I remembered seeing somebody had pulled out the gold fibers from within the ribbon. So all you need to do is to get it started, you just pull a little piece of the gold and then it just unravels like that. So if you want those fine little gold fibers. Now it is a little bit zigzaggy from obviously being woven into the ribbon. So I was trying with my bone folder to straighten it out, and then I thought, you know what, if I just do it with my fingers, it's probably easier. And you can sort of get some of those kinks out. So then if you wanted to use some of the fibers and wrap them up, you could get like a little bundle of gold fibers. So I thought, well, that might be another thing that might work. So I think I like that idea the best. So I'm going to pull out some more of that and then we'll snip that. Now, of course, then you get all these fibers. Now you can use that as well. You can use that, not on this project, but on another project. You can use those fibers, those pretty peacock fibers on a project. They're really pretty as well. So I'll keep those. I'm not going to get rid of them. So there's just a couple of techniques to use with your ribbons to get those little fibers out. Has anybody tried those techniques before? Oops, now I just got a knot in this one. Let's see if I can get that knot out. Oh dear. I think I didn't. I think I wasn't being careful enough just then. All right, so I'm going to move away from my photo, go back to, okay, there we go. So just work this a little bit. So I'm not sure if I want to use this one or these curly whirly ones here. So I do have this knot here, which I don't think is going to come out. Let's just see. Oh, it's getting hot in here again. Oh, it's probably just me. Oh, there we go. Look, I got it. I got it. Okay. So then we have that. So then I'm just going to wrap that. Just going to wrap that around my hand to get like a little bundle of gold. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It matches with my gold rings. I thought maybe we could tuck that in somewhere. Hang on, let me have a little sip of water. I'm getting very hot. So my card is nearly there. I'm really happy with the placement of all of that. It's just adding in the extra little gold. Now, as to whether I want to add that down here instead of the bow, just have those little gold fibers poking out from behind the flowers there. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? It looks like they're sort of sitting in a little bit of moss, like a little bit of gold moss or something. It's a little bit fiddly though. How would that look if we just had that little bit of gold there? Or would it look better at the top if I moved all that down a little bit and I had it coming from the top? Might need to zhuzh it out a little bit. I think it looked nicer at the bottom. I think it sort of went well at the bottom. Okay, whoops, got caught on my flower. Okay, so that's that one. Don't know where I had that leaf now, but I'll reposition them in a minute. Okay, so that's that idea. Or I can use some of this gold trim and I could run that along the bottom. Oh, that would be nice too if I wrapped that around and ran that along the bottom below the congratulations. That would be lovely too, just having that along the bottom. I might do that as well without a bow, but just putting that there. So I might do that, or do I want to add that instead of the, I think I'm going to definitely do this though. I like that along the bottom. All right, so let's cut a length of this to wrap that around that layer. I'm going to have to move all my flowers now. Oh, I have to start again with those. That's okay. Just move these little fibers out of here. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this quite low along the bottom because I want to leave room for that sentiment. Oh, maybe I should add the sentiment first. I was going to put the sentiment up on dimensionals, but I'm wondering if I should just put it flat now. I'll do this twine first. I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape to add the twine, just to hold that on because it's quite stiff twine or thread. What do they call it? Trim. Gold trim. Silver and gold. No, it's elegant. Simply elegant trim. So I'm going to have that quite low to the bottom. I'll run that along there, and I'm just going to run the tape at an angle up like that to hold that nice and tight. There. Get another piece for the other end. run that along. Make sure that it's not pulling the card to bow it. Is it going to be low enough now? Oh, I think that's up too high. I have to move that. Oh. Just very gently take that back off. Just had that a little bit too high. Okay, we'll just run that along the bottom. So what's everyone doing on their Easter Monday today? Apart from watching me, what have you been doing today? Have you been relaxing today, or have you been out and about or visiting family? We've had a quiet day today. Just hubby's been doing the garden, the new garden. But oh, this is so low that I'm having trouble adhering it now. Yeah, hubby's just been doing the garden. Amber went with him to the nursery earlier to get some additional plants because we bought some yesterday, but then we realized we needed some more to fill the garden out a little bit. So it wasn't quite full enough with what we had purchased. So they went and bought more plants today. Okay, I think I've made a chore for myself here, putting this trim so low to the bottom. About there, tuck that around. And tape. But yes, I stayed at home because I was getting ready for my live and finishing off designing the card, putting my stickers on my sentiment stamps and all of those fun things. There we go. Okay, great. So that should be good there. And then our sentiment, which I am going to pop up on dimensionals, I have decided. All right, so now that I've got the twine on there, I should be able to add my, yeah, I'll add that layer now to the card base. Just make sure that's going to stay put and not come undone. Might actually add, I'm just going to take the backing off that part of the ribbon there. I think that will hold, but I'm just a little bit concerned it might lift. So I'm just going to add an extra piece of tape. I'm going to kind of put some at an angle to just grip it a bit more. There we go. All right, and then we can add this layer to the card base. Now, because I've already got tape, I think I'm just going to use tape for the rest of it. I'll put that over there, out of the way. I'll just take some more tape over the top there. There's my snips gone. Okay. And so I used to be solely a tear and tape girl. I never used to use liquid glue. And then, yeah, and then I got sold on the multi-purpose liquid glue, and now that's probably my most used adhesive. Although sometimes I still use tape when I feel that it is needed for a project such as this. So there we go. Okay, so let's take this off. Oh, do you know what I should have done? I should have actually mounted that up, because I'm just thinking now I've got that twine on there, that's going to be bulky on the bottom there, isn't it? That's going to sit up bulky. It is too. Oh, I should have done. Well, I still could. I might leave that tape intact actually and use dimensionals instead. Yeah, I just thought of that because that is a little bit bulky. It doesn't sit flat, that twine. That's okay. We can change up. I'll just change back to my take your pick, my pokey pokey tool, and I just am going to put the dimensionals inside that edge there where I've got that tape, because if I remove that tape it might be too sticky and it might catch on the card, and I don't want to do that. So this little bit down here is going to be an issue. Do I have a little bit of tape I can put back on there? I'll put that bit back on there and just trim that off. No, it's not going to stay. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, so changing our mind and using dimensionals instead. And hopefully that tape won't be seen. Just going to sit that down on the card first, and then I'm just going to have a look under there to just see. Oh, you can see it a little bit. Okay, what I'm going to do, oh my goodness, this is becoming bigger than Ben-Hur. Okay, I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to add minis along there just to be sure that that doesn't stick to the card, because otherwise then my layer will be uneven. So it's going to have lots and lots of dimension. Well, it's going to be still the same level, but I just want to make sure now that I've put that tape there that that's not going to stick. And I don't know why I did not think of this earlier, but that's okay. It's all good. That's why we've got different adhesives, isn't it? So that we can adhere things in different ways. I'm just going to add an extra one there near that twine to make sure that it doesn't. Oh my goodness, this is so many dimensionals. It's going to take me forever just to take the backings off them. But all good. Do you ever do that? Do you ever go to adhere something and then think, oh no, hang on a minute, I shouldn't have adhered it that way. I should have done it a different way. Have you ever done that? Thankfully, we have lots of different adhesives, so it's all good. There we go. All right, so that shouldn't, hopefully, they shouldn't stick, because these ones in between should hold that up enough that that's not going to catch on the card. I'll do a test. Yep, that'll be good. So I'm just pressing in between each of those dimensionals to make sure that those edge pieces aren't going to catch where that tape is. I could have rolled that tape back off, but sometimes it tears the cardstock, so it would have been more of a problem, I think, to do that. Oh, you know what else I could have done? Wait, before I remove the rest of those backings, where's that embossing buddy? Aha! I take my embossing buddy and move that away, and I can add a little bit of embossing buddy along the edge there before I remove the backings of these ones. I don't have the backings there, and that actually takes away some of the sticky. Now you're learning from all of my mistakes here, what not to do. Just don't want that accidentally adhering to the card base. There we go. Now these ones I've already removed the backings from, so if I put my finger on that there, let's get a little bit of the powder and rub it along there, being careful not to get it on my dimensionals where I just took the backings off. Oops, now that's sticking to my finger. Hang on. Let's use a little bit of the backing. I'll cover that up. Just rub that along there. See, all these little tricks, you can just fix up any little boo-boos or changes in direction. If you change how you want to do something. Oh, that one already has the paper on still. My goodness, this is taking me longer now because I just mucked that up. Okay, that'll do. All right. Okay, get that powder off my, oh, hang on. Let's give that a blow. And I'll just make sure none of that got on the front. Just don't want that powder there on the front. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so now we've got to take all the backings off all of these dimensionals. I'll go around the edges first. Making sure to clean my hands off from the powder from the embossing buddy, because we don't want to get that powder on the actual dimensionals themselves, because then they won't stick. Okay, so we'll remove the big ones now. And normally I use my take your pick tool for this, but because I was doing all those little ones as well, just using my nails today. Sometimes I don't have nails, but I do have, well, I trimmed them on the weekend, but they're long enough. Okay, just checking that I got all those backings off. Yes, I did. I often mark my backings with a Sharpie so that I can see if I've removed that backing paper, but I actually haven't done these current packets that I'm working with yet, and so yeah, so I can't actually see if I've removed them or not. All right, so let's add that on like so. Okay, good. And then our sentiment is going to go on there as well. One in the middle, and then we want to make sure that this piece has plenty of dimensionals, because we don't want that sagging anywhere along there, because it's a long sentiment as well. It's a long narrow strip. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to put this right down here near that gold trim, and I just need to put it in a little bit because I didn't cut it quite long enough to go all the way across. And I'm going to bring it right down to that gold trim. So it's sort of like a little underline on the congratulations, isn't it? There we go. Is that straight now? Using my grid paper to see if I've got that straight. That looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. Just going to wipe my paper there. I can feel a bit of that powder still. There we go. Okay, so now time to assemble. Oh, exciting. Time to assemble my lilies. Again, okay, so let's get that picture, that photo back up on my computer. There we go. All right, so I'm thinking with the lilies, whether to pop them up on dimensionals as well, or just have them, I think they need to go up on dimensionals, and then I'm going to slip the leaves in behind to attach them. Yeah, and I think I'll need to trim some of those down. So I might just pop if one is going to hold it, or will I do two? Might do two. Yeah, I'll do two behind each one just to make sure that they hold. There we go. Yep, that'll be good. Okay. So remove those backings. I'm going to do one first and then the other. So I'll just make sure that I get them. Going to be overlapping a little bit, like so, and add a bit of an angle there like that. Okay, And then this one. They're so beautiful, aren't they, these lilies? And the other reason, like I needed to make this engagement card, but the other reason I wanted to show these to you as well was that they can be used for more than just Easter. Even though it says that it's an Easter stamp set, it doesn't have to be. There we go. All right. So I repositioned this one a little bit compared to how I had it on my original card, but that's okay. I'm happy with the positioning of it. All right, now I need to tuck these ones in, but they are a little bit too long. So I'm just going to trim them off because you're not going to see that bottom part of them. I need to make sure that it fits in there within the card frame. I might snip off a little bit more. And I might just shape them as I do it, just in case anybody happens to have a little sneaky peek underneath, because, you know, some people are curious as to how somebody has put a card together. And so that can occur. All right. So that one, and then this one is also going to need to be trimmed off. Yeah, even a bit more. I wish the size of the envelope was not such an issue. Actually, I'm going to grab an envelope so we can see. So this is one of the beautiful Stampin' Up envelopes. They're such good quality, these envelopes. I love the weight of them. They're a really thick envelope. And so that, oh, there we go. Look, we've got a little bit of space. Yay. So they can stick out a little bit. We just have to be careful that they don't stick out further than the envelope though. All right, so that's going to need to go a little bit more. Let's just shape that one down a little bit. Not that, probably nobody's going to know, but I will. There we go. Okay, good. So that those two are good. They're going to fit in the envelope. Okay, and then we've got one down the bottom. That one's definitely going to need to be trimmed. How are we going for time? Oh gosh, our visitors are going to be here soon. That one, is it going to fit? Come on, in there. I think that should be okay. Good. And then we'll trim this one down for up the top here. It helps that the flowers are already adhered as well, because they're not moving around now as I'm trying to position these leaves, which is very helpful. This one might not need to be trimmed at all, which is great. And then we've got another large one for down here. That one might be okay too. It might just trim just a tad off that one. Down there, and then this last one is going to go down here as well, and that one won't need to be trimmed because we're going to fit. It's going to fit. Okay, good. Actually, do I need to put that one up there? Okay, I'm happy with these ones. Let's adhere those down. I'm leaving my ribbon and trim till last because I'm really not sure where I'm going to put that yet. Okay, let's tuck this in here. Coming up this way. I'll just push that down in there. Oops. Oh, I attached it to this one by mistake. Let's put that one back in again. Okay, is that tucked down in there enough? Yep, good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spatula end, which is actually broken. I broke it because I was a bit rough with it, but I'm going to use that to just press that down in there. Make sure that that adheres well in there. Good. Okay. And then this one. It's going in here. And the way that I've got the flowers up on dimensionals helps to be able to slip these leaves in with the glue on, because they're not they're not getting caught sort of on the flowers as they go in, which is great. Oh, I keep sticking all the leaves together. Well, in fact, you know what? Let's glue them together there. They obviously want to stick there. That's where they're going to stick. So let's glue them there and we'll put them both in together. Oh, look at that big blob of glue on my finger. Now let's be careful not to put that on my project. There we go. Good. Beautiful. Press that down in there. Okay, let me get a baby wipe. So what do you think? It's taking shape well, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to have to plug in my iPad because it's about to go flat. So bear with me 2 secs. I've got my watching the replay up on, or not the replay, but the live feed up on my iPad so that I can see what you are all seeing to make sure everything's looking okay. Let's plug that in. There we go. Okay, move those out the way. Alrighty, now let's do the leaves on this one over here. And I think I might put this big one in first, actually. That one, and then this one. Oh, this one's going to have to be tucked right in because it's going to need to be, whoops. Going to need to be within that envelope there. Might have it coming more of an angle over this way. There we go, that should be okay. Oh, keep getting glue on me. Where did I have this one? Did I have this one up here? That one can sit there. I think it's not quite in exactly the same spot as I had it before, but it still looks good. And then this one is the last one. Do I need to trim that one down a bit? Might just trim this one a little bit. Okay. And in we go. Is anybody else crafting with me today? I didn't ask that earlier. I totally forgot to ask about that. Is anyone else crafting today? Okay, hopefully that one is going to be within the envelope. Oh, it's going to be close. I might get my gluey scissors and just trim a little bit more off that because it's already got glue on it now. Not over my project. Let's do it over there. Add a bit more glue. There we go. Oh, thank you, Glenda. Oh, thanks, Dimity. I'm glad you're all liking my project. I just really wanted to use these leaves. I thought they're just so stunning. And, yeah, they can just be used for so much more than what they're advertised for. So I wanted to just share that. There we go. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's get all this off here. Might you need those again in a minute. All right, so now we just have to decide. Look, I reckon we maybe don't even, because we've got this twine down here now, we might not even need that extra ribbon, because I'm going to add some bling as well. So I'll just take it away from the envelope there. I don't even know if we need it, you know. I could add that there, kind of like tying those two together. Oh, let's see if I can just get it to sit properly first without sticking to my fingers. No, I think if anything it would have to go up here in between those two. You love the lilies, Robin? Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? They're so pretty. Could have that there, have them tied together. Put it at an angle, maybe. No, I don't know. Maybe I should just leave them. Or this was the other idea, was the gold twine, the gold thread. Just do like a little bundle of gold thread here, which keeps getting stuck on everything. Hang on a minute. Let's see how this looks in here. Adhering that might be a bit tricky. How does that look? Let's have a look on camera. How's that looking? I don't mind that gold thread actually. It's just going to be a bit tricky to adhere without having the glue show through off with the ribbon. Just nice on its own, just add embellishments. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Angela. Hey, because it's just like elegant, isn't it? Just on its own. All right, let's just add some bling, because I had these as well, and then I thought, oh, maybe these could sort of come in the middle somehow, but I don't know. They're actually looking a bit heavy now. These are the little fibers from the elegant trim that I separated. I need to fiddle with them a bit more to get them to sit nicely, because they're all wanting to bunch together at the moment. Actually, where's my take a pic tool? I think I'd have them at an angle if I was going to have them at all. Or I could have a little bit of that coming up from the back of each of those flowers, or not, or I could just leave them. You know, sometimes less is more, isn't it? And I think the flowers just on their own. Yeah, I don't know, I might fiddle with that later, I'll see. I'll decide later. Let's look at embellishments. I got some out. Sorry, clunk clunk, as I rummaged through all my embellishments I pulled out. I did pull out a few different ones. We've got gold pearls there. I've got these ones which I thought might coordinate with the flowers, because they're sort of in that petal pink colour. I've got a lot of them actually. These ones have got the gold flecks in them, so they might be subtle and nice. These ones are now going to be too heavy, so I'm not going to use those. I've got pearls. I've got iridescent rhinestones. Yeah, I'm thinking not those now. I've got the butterflies, and I've got the little dragonflies too. I thought they might be pretty as well. But are they going to be too small compared to the size of the flowers? Most probably. they're probably going to be too small, but these perhaps, or pearls. Pearls are elegant, or the gold. So pearls, gold. I'm thinking not the butterflies. Pearls, gold. These ones. Gold pearls, Glenda. These ones. Yeah, I think so too. But let me just try these ones, because these ones have got a little bit of... Oh, they look nice. They look sort of like water droplets, actually. And they've got the gold fleck in them. But then the gold pearls, oh, these have got gold in them though. Let's just try. Don't know, maybe we need a bit more gold, actual gold. Let's see. So they don't look too bad if I used some of those in the different colours, and obviously in an uneven number, not just 2. Let's try the gold pearls. Oh yes. Oh yes. I think the gold pearls. What do you think? Gold pearls. Would we go 3 or 5? 3 or 5? Oh, how about that? What do you think about that? Can you see the gold? I don't know how the lighting is how the light's picking that up. What do you think? Gold pearls or something bigger? Yes, you like those? Yes, the pearls look nice. Oh, cool. Oh, you like the gold flecks in the other ones, Dimity. Well, that one looks pretty good. I'm happy with that, because it brings in more of the gold. But then this one as well. Yeah. I think I'm moving away from these ones. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, we have so many beautiful embellishments, but sometimes it just makes the decision all the harder. What about those ones? Yeah, no, I think the gold. I think you're all right. The gold. Oh, hey, Monique. How are you? I didn't realise you were here. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can see better in person. Yes, always, Dimity. Yep. Okay, I'll put the ordinary pearls away and those ones. So we're just choosing between those 2 now. Those ones or these ones. I think, yeah, I don't know. I'll take these ones gently back off. We'll place down the other ones and just see. Maybe even 5 is too many. Maybe we only need 3 of these ones if we use these ones anyhow, because we don't want to overpower the flowers. So let's see if we do 1 there, 1 there. Can use all the large ones, or we could do a small one. Trying to find the ones that have got the most gold in them. Oh, that's pretty too. Actually, maybe if I use a small one on this side. So many decisions. Sometimes I find the embellishments is the hardest thing to choose. What do you think about that? I like that, actually. Oh, I like both. I can't choose. I don't know. I think that looks nice too. Nice with the clear and the gold too. You like those ones, Angela? Yep. 3. Yep, Glenda. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with those 3. I think you're all right. And you know what? These almost look like water droplets as well with that gold in them. So, yeah. Yeah, find it hard where to place them, Dimity. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to go with that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for helping me. I love that we've got so many choices. But yeah, as I say, sometimes too many choices just makes our decision even harder, doesn't it? You like those ones best, Robin? Oh, okay. I think it's unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And I don't think we need the additional gold trim or anything. I could have had a little bit coming up from there, but I think then we're just adding, you know, a lot. And I think it's not necessary. So there we go. There's my finished project. So thank you so much for joining me for that. And even with those leaves sticking out off the edge of the card, there's our envelope. They are just going to fit. Oh, this one might be close. These other ones are all okay. This one, I think I didn't judge this one very well. That one might be a problem. So I'll have to, yeah, maybe I'll need to get a bigger envelope. I've already stuck that now. I don't think I can remove that one. Oh, I thought I checked them all really closely. Yeah, no, the other ones are all laid in over the top of it. Oh. No, I'm going to leave it. It's okay. I'll work it out. But yeah, that one should have been in just a little bit more. But anyway, there you go. So there is my beautiful card. And you know what? On this envelope, I might even stamp. Where is the stamp? I might even stamp the little lily there. So let's do that. I'll do that quickly. Our visitors are coming very soon. If I hear them come, I'll have to quickly go. But let's just quickly finish this off. Just might stamp that there like that in the corner. What colour will I stamp it in? Will I do the pretty pink? Or will I stamp it in... Oh, you know what I might do? Where's our new one? Hang on. Opening up my box. Oh, opening up my box. My new basic beige. Let's stamp it in basic beige, and then I'll use my... This is basic beige is a new one that's coming out in the new annual catalogue. So it'll be available to you really soon. Oh, it's a bit blobby. That's okay. I haven't, it's very inky, and I haven't, oh, you know why? I didn't clean my stamp first. This is a brand new stamp, and I haven't used it before. And what's the rule? Clean your photopolymer stamps before you use them. Anyway, I might do another envelope, but just for showing you, I'll show you what I will do. I might have to redo that, but that's okay. Let's get our inks back out that we had before. Where do I put my brushes now? There we go. Okay, let's grab a little bit of the Pretty in Pink. And I'll just blend some colour in the centre there. And then we'll get our Petal Pink. And we'll just add a little bit of Petal Pink in there as well, so that it matches the colour of our flowers that we've created on our card. There. Here we go. You can always do another one on the back as well here, on the flap. I always like to do an extra one on the flap. If I do one on the front, I like to do one on the flap. Now, let's just give this a little swizzle. I'll see that stamped much better because I had cleaned the stamp. That's all right. I think we'll get away with that. Let's give that a clean. Is the Wink and water brushes continuing? Wink of Stella, yes. And the water brush, the water painters, yes, they are. Yep, they're all carrying over. Yep. I can let you know where to find them in the catalogue too, Dimity. I just don't know the page number off the top of my head, but they are on, they are in the catalogue, yes, in the new catalogue. Could have done 2 on the back too, couldn't I, to match the 2 on the card, but that's okay. There we go. So there we've got our envelope. Oh, look, I'm going to have to redo an envelope anyway because now I've got ink on there. That's okay. You get the idea. It'll look like that, but it'll look nicer. And there is other greenery and stuff there as well if you wanted to add that, and closed petal flowers that are still opening of the lilies. So you could, you could go crazy. You could go to town. But yeah, I'll have to redo another envelope. But anyway, you get the idea. That's kind of how it will look. And that'll be a lovely gift. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And let me just remind you as well that we've got the last chance sale coming for all the products that are retiring in the mini catalogue and the annual catalogue. So it's going to be starting on the 9th of April. This stamp set and the dies are going to be reduced, and the embossing folder as well are all going to be reduced in the sale. Now, what did I say before? The stamp set is going to be 30% off, and the dies are 50, I think. Yep, there we go. I marked it in here. Page 26 of your mini catalogue. So when that sale goes live on the 9th, you'll be able to get the stamp set for 30% off, and the dies will be 50% off. Make sure you don't use the bundle price, okay? You have to put the individual products in so that you can get those discounts on those products, okay? But yeah, as I say, it's a beautiful set to use for lots of other occasions other than just for Easter. So I hope that gave you some ideas, and I'll bring in that was my beautiful Easter card that I got from one of my my friends and team member, and also there was the bag tag on my goodie bag. My Easter bag that I showed earlier, I made these little tags, so you can use that stamp set to make tags as well. And I did use one of the Easter sentiments there too. So I'll have more of those yummy treats. All right, I'm going to just tip the camera back up so that I can say goodbye to you. I'm really happy with the colors with my new lights. What did you think? What did you think about my new lights? Does it give good color? Let me know from your perspective, watching on camera. Sorry, watching the live. How did the colors look to you? How did the lighting look? So I've got my new lights now. Sorry, just readjusting. One moment, please. There we go. Okay, flip. There we go. And readjust those lights. And it's so much easier now to readjust these when I flip the camera back over, because before when I was filming and I'd have to fiddle with them and they would fall and everything, I just have to turn the globe now, because they're much better. They're LED, these ones too, so they're much easier to use. So there you go. There's our beautiful card. Isn't that stunning? And that gold, can you see the gold shining? Yeah. Thanks for the idea with the embellishments. Thanks for helping with the embellishments. It's always a bit tricky. So, what do you think? Oh, yes. So, Dimity said, looks good. What are the new lights? I've got new lights. They're called, the brand is Mercator, and the model is Lumiere. They are an LED light, and they've got pivoting. They pivot in 3 different, they pivot in 4 different sections of the lights, and they're really good. And the globes themselves, sorry, I'm just cleaning the ink off my hands. The globes themselves you've got the warm light, the cool light, and warm cool. So I've got the cool light, which is more the bright white, on for filming, but I wasn't sure if it looked a little bit more bluish than my original lamps that I had, which had different bulbs in them. They had an ordinary bulb in them. Actually, they might have had they have a fluorescent bulb in them. I can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, but today was the first day that I used them. So I did do some testing when I got them last week, but yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Remember, I've got my class coming up. If you are local, I've got my in-person card buffet coming up. So that will be on the 20th of April, but registration closed on the 6th of April, which is Saturday. So make sure you register if you would like to come to that one. I've still got a couple of seats left available for that one. It's only $25 and you get to make 4 cards. You get to choose from a range of designs. You get to choose what you would like to create. Now, also too, I didn't mention, well, I mentioned it, but I didn't show it. We have got the new catalog coming up. If I can just get it. The new annual catalog. I've got lists and things in there. The new annual catalog. So if you would like a copy of this and you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I would love to get one out to you. My links are in the comments here, and I'll put them up again actually, and also will be in the description of the video over on YouTube. So if you would like to get a copy of that, then let me know if you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And you need to be here in Australia for me to be able to send that to you, because we can't sell outside of our own country. So I can only sell to those that are in Australia. So I can only give catalogs to those that are in Australia. But yes, you'd be more than welcome to register for one of those catalogs. Any of my VIP customers who have shopped with me in the last 6 months, you will automatically be sent a copy of the catalog. I've already ordered those for you. If you're an older customer, or a previous customer, I should say, not older, previous customer of mine, and you've not shopped for more than 6 months, then please get in contact with me, and yeah, and we can get a catalog to you as well. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll be back again next Monday at 4 p.m. Now, I believe we are losing daylight savings on the weekend. So we're going to be back on Eastern time. So Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's it, from next week. So 4 p.m. I'll be here on Monday. So yeah, we'll have some more creativity with you. So I look forward to that. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. Remember, we've got the last chance sale coming up. All those retiring products. Remember that your re-inkers for those outgoing in colors, grab those because they were already on low inventory. In fact, I haven't checked today, but they might have already gone. Any of those other in color products, they will go quickly. They're usually the first thing to go. The vellum has already gone, so sadly you can't purchase the vellum anymore. But all of the things that are retiring are only while supplies last, so make sure you grab them. If you're not yet subscribed to my newsletter, subscribe to that so that you can be kept up to date with all of the current sales, specials, and the upcoming things too. And I did post the last chance list of all the retiring products in my last week's newsletter. So if you missed it, let me know. I'm happy to send those to you as well. Okay, I think that's all the news. Remember too that you are always welcome to join with us. We would love to have you join our team, and you'll get an ongoing 20% discount. And when you purchase the starter kit, you only pay $169. So if you're already ordering, if you're already placing an order and it's up near around 169, or it's more than 169, it's actually better for you to join, because you'll be able to choose $235 worth of product for that $169 in your starter kit. Then you're going to get the ongoing discount, and we get the discount on any discounted products. So as I said to you, these ones are going to be discounted in the last chance sale. We get our demonstrator discount on top of that as well. So it's worth your while to join, and you can leave at any time. You're not locked in. There's no pressure. Come and go as you like. I'm happy for you to join us. Enjoy the community as well. If you're looking for a crafting community to be part of, we'd love to have you join us. So if you have more questions, feel free to get in contact with me, and I'd love to have a chat with you. Or if you're happier to ask those questions over Messenger or whatever, that's fine too, or email. All good. So I'll let you all go. Have a great evening, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye.